Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with 5 good news stories. A 94-year-old Englishman decided to go on the world's fastest zip line to raise money for his local hospice care. He's a great-grandfather of 4. His wife passed away 5 years ago to cancer. For the last few months of her life, she had been cared for by St. John's Hospice, which also had provided end-of-life care for one of David's friends, Mr. Kilby. So 94-year-old David and Mr. Kilby's widow, who's 70, took a trip to Zip World for a ride on the fastest zip line in the world that can reach speeds of 100 miles per hour. David told the English news media SWNS, "I've heard of the zip line, but I didn't think to do it until Mrs. Kilby mentioned it to me. When we rang up to book it in, I said I was 94, and they said, I'm probably the oldest person to do it. They checked, and I am the oldest person to do it." On the day, the zip line was over and done in less than a minute because it was so fast. I was nervous, but also excited, and I really enjoyed it. Using a crowdfunding page, they raised more than 9,500 pounds. Nice job there. A chef has been able to return to his kitchen thanks to a floating seat, which was invented after a motorcycle injury made the chef immobile. A C-shaped metal hook is suspended on a set of rails from the ceiling and allows Chef Lammer to float along the kitchen while setting his hands free to chop, dice, quarter, and fillet. 10 years ago, Chef Lammer suffered a serious motorcycle injury that left him without the use of his legs. His friend Bernard ran a nearby zip line adventure course and had an understanding of how you could do this kind of thing. They developed Standing Ovation, a one-of-a-kind device that allows disabled users to sit comfortably on a bicycle seat at the point of a large hook. The hook is attached to a railing on the ceiling that allows the user to slide up and down the workplace. That leaves your hands free for work. With Standing Ovation, Chef Lammer can pull a pot off the stove and with a small flick of his leg go gliding down the kitchen line of the prep station. He's working in the kitchen of his restaurant, Johanneskeller. Nice job there, everybody. A baby walrus was found emaciated and dehydrated in Alaska after her herd left the area. She's now getting specialized care at a facility and will become a species ambassador. The Alaska Sea Life Center explained in a news release, in rehabilitation, staff act as surrogates, sitting with the calf around the clock and providing intensive care. In the wild, walrus calves remain with their mothers for 1 to 2 years, seeking comfort through physical contact. Walruses are also highly social creatures. Chris Dodd is SeaWorld's chief zoological officer and said in a statement, "Walruses are amazing ambassadors for the Arctic and an inspiration to us all to be better stewards of the planet we all share." A man has uncovered a cryptic riddle while redecorating his home. I'm intrigued, or are you? And he managed to track down the person who wrote it 50 years ago. Back in 1975, Eileen was a teenager. The riddle says, "I am here, you are there, separated by time alone. What's it like in the future, or am I the past? You are my future, I am your past. I wish you a good day." Eileen is now in her 60s. Eileen shared on social media, "The family who found the poem found me and have been in contact with me." Some people on social media chimed in. One said, "As a carpenter, writing weird cryptic nonsense for future readers inside of walls is one of my passions." All right, I told you the other day about the street aquarium, the goldfish that are just in a puddle somewhere in New York City. We've got an update for you. If you missed Wednesday's show, there's some goldfish that were living in a tree pit, often flooded by a leaky fire hydrant. One of the locals said, "Since the water's always sitting there in the puddle, we decided to turn it into something interesting." They fortified at the edges of the tree bed with rocks and brick. They bought 100 goldfish from a pet store for $16 and dumped them in. Visitors have dubbed it the Hancock Street Bed-Stuy Aquarium. The news of the goldfish hit social media and some of your favorite podcasts. Well, it turns out 2 neighborhood residents, Emily and Max, carried out a rescue mission. Using nets and plastic bags, they pulled about 30 goldfish from the 2-inch deep waters. They said they were rescuing the fish from inhumane conditions. Emily is a self-described fish enthusiast who said, "I'm very aware of the optics of a white yuppie coming to the neighborhood and telling this man who's lived in the neighborhood his whole life that he doesn't know what he's doing. I do sympathize with that. I just don't want to watch 40 fish suffocate in a puddle from their own waste." She's working to rehome the rescued fish, keeping them in tanks inside her apartment. Several people had contacted with her concerns about the remaining fish. She says, "I'm still concerned for the fish's well-being, but I'm more concerned about the divisiveness in the community." The plan is to just keep the fish in place for a little longer, 2 weeks at the time of me reading this to you, and then donate them to neighborhood children. And those are your 5 good news stories for today. If you would like this program without commercials, there's a link in the show notes that'll tell you how to do that. Please check out our sister podcast. It's called 5 Minutes of Gratitude. 5 minutes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Give you a little something to think about and a daily affirmation. And if you like the program, tell a friend about it. They might like it too. You have an awesome day.